Hey Cardfighters, today we're going to take a look at what in my opinion is the best deck box for Cardfight Vanguard, which is the brand new Nation Vault by Gamegenic in collaboration with Bushiroad.
Stand up! Vanguard!
So this video is kind of out of nowhere because I usually don't review products on the channel, but this case is a little bit different because not only did I got contacted and reached out by the lovely folks over at Gamegenic to potentially be part of this release, but at the same time this is also a very unique product as it's specifically made for Vanguard and more precisely for standard with the whole nation theming, with the coloring, but also how they developed the product to fit Vanguard more specifically. And that all combined made me want to take a look at this product more in depthly and also to give you guys a good review to see if this product is maybe something for you. And spoiler alert, the answer might be probably yes. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the product himself and open this bad boy up to see what this actually looks like in person. So here we have the box itself. It's a neat packaging which is very small and concise. On the information on this side, it's basically all the same in different language. What's written here is the same what's being written here, and it all comes down to what's essentially being shown on this image. And this image, if the camera focuses, is essentially telling us what we can expect from this deck box. So here we essentially see how it looks from this side point of view, and has a magnetic lock around the metal symbol itself, which has of course the nation logo on it, and then it has a nice dice tray itself, which is not as high as usual, but it's more wider than most dice trays, which makes it useful for certain dices, but less functional for other dices. And then, of course, if you open up the deck box itself, we can see here that we have the decks on top, then we have the dice tray underneath it, and we see these slots that we can put our cards in. And we, as it says here, it has sleeve pockets for up to 2 cards per slot, so you can have your right line in these slots. And of course, as we can see here as well, it has a easy cutout, so we can get to those cards easier without needing to rip the cards from the top, as you can just put your finger on these holes and just slide them out essentially, which is nice. And this is also something we don't see in most deck boxes. It has like a cut in underneath, which makes it easier to grab your cards from the deck box itself instead of just needing to shake the box or just try to pull them out with your fingers, which makes it also less chance of accidentally damaging your cards. But this doesn't really showcase it all too much. It's best to just open the deck box and see it in person. So let's just do that. And it's very easy to open this up. I already opened it up preemptively, but basically you rip the sticky tape on here, and then you can just open it up from the top. And you see this as your first opening. As you see, lift my cover and show me your colors. And in this case, we're already seeing it from the front. You open up here, you just pull it up. It is the Dark States one, which of course is in nice theming with Best Boy Chronojet in standard right now, which makes it of course very, very fitting on the channel. Now, of course, these are nation vaults, which means we have one for every single nation. I don't know if I can put a picture, but if I can find a picture, I will put it out on the screen here, where we essentially have 6 different variants. You can see here the blue color with the symbol for Dark States, and this then is of course for the red one with Dragon Empire. We have the pink one for Lyrical Monasterio, the yellow one for Cato Sanctuary, the green one for Stoichea, and the white one for Brandgate. So essentially different colors and a different symbol. Now, what I really like about this, it really feels like high quality felt. I don't know the word for it, what it actually, this fabric is. Like, it's a really nice soft touch, but at the same time it feels very sturdy. And this, when I initially saw this, I didn't notice this, but this looks very clean. Like, it's the Vanguard symbol, like it's embroidered in it or something. I don't know what the term for it is, but it's like put into the fabric itself, which makes it very nice, and it means it will never, or at least hard, I don't think it is easily to degrade even if you wash it. It's like it put in there, which is, it's a very nice touch. And these are the things you don't see on most deck boxes, and that's basically because it's a collaboration with Bushiroad. They can do these symbols even though there's like copyright, even though it's copyright system. Here we can see the magnetic lock, and it has a very satisfying pop. Like, I wonder if you can hear it on the microphone. Like, it's a relatively strong magnet, which makes it very secure, which is nice. And of course it fits perfectly in the emblem as well. And then if we open it up, we can essentially see the layout of the deck box itself. So we have these sleeves here, which can put our cards, whatever we want to showcase, which is a nice way to showcase your favorite cards as well. And then we have the tray and where we can put our cards. And then also a nice detail here, we can see like this metallic lay-in on the with Vanguard, which is again another nice detail where it really showcases the Vanguard deck box. And then we have the tray underneath that, which has the Gamegenic logo, which makes it a full package where it's a Gamegenic Vanguard product, which is very nice. And of course, we can never go amiss with these gel package to also secure your cards so they don't warp a little bit, which is a nice way to secure your cards. And here, this is what I meant with it can help you pull out your cards, because you can see, if you can see it on camera, there is like this little indent. So your cards rest on here, but there's still space underneath. So that means if you put in cards, you have a small gap. And the best way to showcase that is just put in cards. So we have here my 50 card deck, double sleeved. We put it in. We can see it just fits there nicely in. We still have like room on the top, so it doesn't slide as far as easy. And then we can see here, there is this little gap here, which makes it very easy to put your finger underneath and just pull them all very easy out. So you don't have to wrestle with the bottom card that maybe sticks on the floor and it's harder to get. Because of this space, it's much easier to get your cards out, which is very nice. And to immediately just showcase how this these panels work, you can see essentially just slide in the card just underneath. And it's very tight fit, which makes the cards very protected. And these are double sleeve, by the way. They showcase that you can put double sleeve cards. You can just push it in there, and your card is essentially just safe there. And you can put 2 per slot. So I can just put 1 or 2 in here. So we have 2. And it's always, you need to be very careful with these. And it's probably easier to begin with the corners. And my sleeves are a bit pointier than most sleeves, so it makes it harder to put them in. But then we have 2, and you can of course put another one in front of it. See, you can slide it easier in front, but I need to start with the right corner. And then once you get that in there, you just slides in. And I probably shouldn't put my sleeves the other way around, because my openings are on the bottom, which makes it harder to push them in. But let's, for example, now the top is on top, I can probably, if I do it like this, but it's much easier in. As you can see, I can slide it way easier in. So put your sleeves in more logical way with the opening on top. But if you want to put it on bottom so it's like airtight, then it takes a bit more struggle to potentially get them in. But they still fit very nicely, and they're very, very secure. Because you can see they're very, very closed up. And you can still put them like that in there. There's like this special gap, which allows them to just stack them there, without even making the cards like pushed or bent anything. They're like specifically made for it, which is very, very nice to add some extra space to put your cards in other places than usually are fit in most deck boxes, which is a nice way to showcase your favorite cards. So you can just pull them out just like that, and it just come out relatively easy as well. But at the same time, you still feel some force to be applied, because even if I shake, they don't come out. Like they're tightly secured. You can shake what you want, but they don't come out of those pockets, which is nice, because it means you don't have to worry about if you walk with these deck boxes somewhere and you might accidentally think they might flip out. It's not gonna happen, which is very nice. So overall, a pretty nice deck box with a lot of interesting features, because I have never seen this on a deck box before, and as well as a combination with the tray and this extra pulley or this space, it makes it much easier to grab your cards out of your deck box without any struggle whatsoever. And of course the nice features with like the nation design, the Cardfight Vanguard logo, and of course the logo on top, which makes it very noticeable as a Vanguard deck box. And in combination with all the colors and nation themes, it makes basically a deck box for any player, for any favorite deck or nation or whatever ride line you like. This is a perfect product for what you want to play, as it's specifically tailor-made for standard in mind with the 50 card decks. With the showcase out of the way, I want to highlight certain plus points and negative points while using this product. And I want to start with the plus points first. So the plus points is that the product is of high quality. As we've seen so far, the This fabric is very nice, and all the logos and imprints are pretty good quality, which makes it a very nice product to have. It's a more premium style product, and it's more specifically tailor-made for Vanguard, which makes it also a bit more usable for the game itself. And one of those other reasons that goes into another plus point are these tabs, these sleeve tabs in the deck box itself, which makes it easy for you to showcase your favorite cards if you're playing like premium or standard, or to put your right deck into those cards, which makes it easier to not only showcase whatever cards you like, to make the deck box also more personalized, but it also makes setting up your game much easier because your right deck is already at a different spot in the product or in this box than your main deck. And also when you're done playing and you want to wrap everything up and you want to put everything safely stored, you have a space to put specific cards, which makes it also easier to use. And overall, I just like the look and feel of it. It's like a small, concise deck box. It's like more of a square box thing than usually a tower, or it's not like hard plastic where you can potentially hurt yourself with using it. Like, even though it has corners, the corners are rounded up, so it's less of a awkward thing to carry around. This is more like in line with most other deck boxes, even though if you look at like here, it is bigger than like your typical plastic box that we get from Bushiroad during tournaments or from like trial decks or whatnot, but it's not that significantly bigger that it's like very awkward to use on like certain tower boxes or like these brick things that other deck boxes are known for. As for negative points, I only have like 2 minus points, and one of them is like a nitpicky thing, and the other one is something that's more a personal thing that you have a solution for if you don't mind to adjust the box in how you're supposed to use it. So the first thing that I want to highlight is this metal logo itself. Because it's metallic, there's chance that you can scratch it, and if you use this product quite often, it's going to scratch it up a little bit. Like, even when I used it a little bit, it did get some scratches, and that's the only thing. Like, is it a major problem? No, but if you want to have your product, keep it in pristine condition, it's going to be tough, but it's with anything that's like metallic. Like, metal tends to scratch, even with a little bit of wear and tear on it, but it's not like something to take away from it. Now, the other thing is, this product is specifically made with Standard in mind. Standard has 50 card decks, and this product is made for double sleeve 50 card decks. As we can see here, these are 50 cards, and it barely fits in there. You have some room, but you cannot really put more cards in here. Now, of course, if you press it down, you can add maybe a bit more cards. Of course, we can remove 4 cards because they go here for your right deck, so you have some space left. And you can say, well, I can single sleeve my cards, and then I have more room. But I wouldn't recommend that if you want to use like more of character sleeves or some sleeve with a pattern that you really like and you want to protect those, you want to use over sleeves. So if you have a deck with like tokens, for example, or more markers, or let's say you want to play V Premium and you use like gift markers, or they have like cradle markers as well, or you want to play Premium with your stride deck that's like 16 extra more cards, like then this space starts to run out and you cannot really play those decks as it's too much space. Now, of course, this is called a nation vault with Standard in mind, so you don't really typically run in that issue because you usually, with the space that you have left, you can run just enough tokens there to make it work. But you can use this product in Premium by just adjusting it a little bit, and that has to do with this dice tray. Personally, I don't use these dice trays all too much because with the dice that I use, it's just a bit too awkward as I cannot fit in enough dice, and I just use dice bags. But because I use dice bags, that means this is space I'm not using. But because we're not using this space, and it's quite wide, we can actually, and this is my G-zone, it's like standard size sleeves, so they're the bigger size sleeves as we can see here. We can actually just use this space underneath and just put my G-zone underneath here. And I still have more room for gift markers, cradle markers, quick shields, whatever you can imagine. As we have here my gift markers, and I have even like a quick shield. I can put those underneath here. I still have more than enough room for any other thing that I want to put in here as well. So if you want to use this for like other formats or with decks that use way more cards or need more stuff, you can use this space if you are like, if you're not want to use dice tray itself, you can just adjust the deck box and still use it as intended, as it's still safe and sound there. Now the only thing you need to keep in mind, because it's a bit more looser here and there's no like wall protecting it, it can bang against this if you shuffle too much. Like as you hear, the cards can slide out a bit, but if you use it carefully, this is an alternate way of using it if you want to use it for your premium decks as well. And you can just slide it sideways and the cards just slide out. So it's not that easy, not that hard to get access to your cards, and it's a nice way to just customize the deck box even further beyond what the product initially had in mind. And that's the brand new Nation Vault from Gamegenic in collaboration with Bushwood. Overall, I want to thank the guys over at Gamegenic for allowing me to review this product by sending over one of their new products so I can review it. Awesome deck box. I'm probably going to use it quite often in future tournaments and regionals and whatever going to come away, because I really like the design of it and being able to showcase your favorite cards in the pocket sleeves. Like it's a nice touch to make things feel more customized. And even if I'm using like standard, I can just put like special rarity cards here so I can look with them a lot, because yeah, what's the point of having special speeds if you cannot use them? You also just still want to showcase them, and this is a great way to also do that. And of course, this isn't just a review video, because if you too want to get your hands on one of these deck boxes, then I have good news for you guys, because they didn't send me just one, they sent me a second one for me to give away to one of you guys. So if you want to win one of these Nation Vaults, one of these blue Dark States one, you just have to do one simple thing, or should I say three simple things. And those three things being subscribing to this channel, following me on Twitter, and then post a comment down below with a link to your Twitter account as well, so I can verify that you follow me on Twitter and being subscribed. And then next week on Twitter, I will announce one of the lucky participants as the winner for this Nation Vault. And then of course, open up your DM so I can DM you personally with potentially the information to send this box to you, so you can win one of these Nation Vaults for free. Again, huge shout out to Gamegenic for supplying me with these deck boxes, not only review it, but also to give one away to you guys. And of course, check out their store, as these Nation Vaults are just being released. So if you cannot wait for the giveaway, you can also just go to the store and order these boxes right around now, as there are of course not only the Dark States one, but also 5 other nations to collect. So get your Nation Vaults while they're still hot on the bucket, as these things are pretty damn spicy. But with that said, I'm Mr. Time Leap. See you guys in the next one!